Chapter 15. The End of the Beginning. Those who say it cannot be done should not interrupt those who are doing it. George Bernard Shaw. So that was it. Technological resurrection. And more precisely, temporal resurrection. And all of its implications. A big new idea, sort of. Now, some will be afraid of this idea just because it's new. Others will scoff. And most will dismiss it because they are already satisfied with their beliefs. But a few of us will keep thinking about it, and that's all it has ever taken to change the world for the better. A handful of gutsy men and women who ignore the odds and the conventions. Steve Jobs said, "The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do." Sean Murray said, "You have to be dumb enough to try and smart enough to succeed." And I'll say it now. If the first step in changing the world is being crazy and dumb, well then, I think I've got it covered, folks. So things are looking up. And while there were many other things I could have talked about and wanted to talk about as far as this idea was concerned, I chose to end this book here. Because I think many of these things can be answered by saying, we'll see. After all, why fight about who is right about all these things when in the future we'll have the science to know? We'll understand consciousness. We'll be able to look back in time. Even the big questions, like where did the universe come from and is God real? Those will probably be answered eventually as well. So why argue now? And other questions like where should we go from here? What are the ramifications of all of this? How can we use the knowledge of this possibility to our advantage? I could write a book about each of those. But that's for each of us to figure out for ourselves. And whether we choose to risk a little ridicule and spread the idea, incorporate this idea into our existing ones, dismiss it totally, or write a book about it, that's up to each of us to decide for ourselves. Hint, I chose to write a book about it. So in the end, I'm not going to tell you what to believe or what to do. I'm not going to tell you that death might be like getting teleported into a reality greater than anything we've ever imagined. I'm not going to point to that old saying, maybe the best day of my life hasn't happened yet, and tell you it's true. No, it's not my way to do that. But I do hope that after reading this book, you feel that there is at least a possibility that temporal resurrection is happening. That there's a chance it's worth it to be a better person, even in this cynical age. That there's a chance, a good chance, that the future and the world we all still secretly dream of living in is still worth fighting for, worth working for, and still possible. And despite the fact that every day when we turn on our television, it's filled with images of death and violence, liars and con artists, despair and addictions, I hope you realize that's not the truth. That's actually all a big fat lie. A cherry-picked cesspool of negativity designed to capture our attention, to get ratings, and to serve corporate agendas, no matter the cost to our souls. But the truth is that this world is filled with good people, kind people, brilliant people. And I hope you remember that we can grab this universe by the horns and make of it what we will, if we just choose to do so. Good luck. The end. So, that was my book, Technological Resurrection, A Thought Experiment. If you listen to all of these chapters being read aloud by me, the author, excuse my mispronunciations and mistakes, and coughing and sneezing and swallowing and such. I'm not a professional voice actor, obviously. If you did enjoy, listening to this book, you did enjoy the ideas and everything, I'm not going to say donate to me or whatever, but I hope that you do go to Amazon. I'll put a link below, and you buy the book. It's available right now, so just go ahead and buy it for Kindle, preferably, and contribute that way to me, and as a way of saying thanks, I suppose. And I'm going to continue to write books on futurism and this idea and other ideas. I've already written two. A book titled Doomsday that covers a lot of new and exciting technologies, and it's written in a format where it's a short story, and then there's me explaining how this technology, where its state is right now and where it's going. And I'm going to go ahead and read that book aloud too. I've also written a book called Gods of the Singularity, where I cover, it's a science fiction, dystopian, post-singularity kind of adventure novel. And it really goes into some ideas about this technological resurrection, also about virtual reality and the economy, how would it survive after, computers can essentially do anything. So I'm going to go ahead and read that out loud too. But go ahead and go check out all my books. Buy them if you want. Like and subscribe to this channel. And also, I'm going to keep writing books and keep writing my ideas and come out with more videos. And also, the number one thing you can do to really help me would just be to send these videos to people and get more views and get the idea kind of out there. And, once people start talking about these ideas, they'll just become another normal thing. So, spread these ideas and thanks for watching and thanks for the support. And like and subscribe and see you later.